Right now, Sister Wives star Janelle Brown has innumerable opportunities available to her. She left Kody Brown in Flagstaff behind to move to North Carolina and start a flower farm. As soon as she settles the Coyote Pass situation, she has no reason to speak with Kody Brown unless it involves their children or grandchildren. They were never legally married, after all. But even so, Janelle thinks she might pursue a spiritual release from the church to make it official. See what she said in Sunday night's new episode. Janelle Brown considers taking a page from Mary's book. When Sister Wives began, Mary Brown had quite a high standing in the family. She and Kody had a legal marriage while he and the other wives had spiritual ones. But as viewers know, that all changed when Kody was trying to adopt Robyn's children. After that, Mary had a spiritual marriage and later pursued a release from the church. She wanted to be done with Kody once and for all. As far as viewers know, neither Janelle nor Kristen have tried to get a spiritual release from Kody. Christine likely never will, especially since she married David Woolley in 2023. But Janelle Brown isn't throwing out the idea yet. I know Mary has just recently gotten a release like what we call a release, which is a divorce. And it's made me think, I kind of like the idea of getting a spiritual release. Janelle revealed in Sunday night's episode. But I don't even know who to call. However, Kody didn't necessarily feel the same way. I didn't feel like I needed a spiritual divorce from Mary. And I didn't feel like I needed a spiritual divorce from Christine. Kody stated in his own confessional. I don't know if there's some kind of karmic connection that Janelle and I are obligated to still. The other wives don't believe in Robyn's logic. According to Robyn, all her ex-sister wives still belong to Kody until they have sex with someone else. But the other wives aren't buying into that. I just think that's bullshit. I'm sorry, Janelle confessed to Christine about Robyn's beliefs. I think that's dogmatic. That's a dogma I used to hear, and I used to be like, whatever. Go have sex with somebody, then that marriage is over. You can move on, Christine responded. What did you think of Sunday night's new episode? Do you think Kody and Janelle will ultimately pursue a spiritual release? Share your own thoughts and ideas in the comments below. Catch the Sister Wives Season 19 tell-all this spring. Until then, follow TV shows Ace Online to keep up with the latest news and updates on the Brown family. Janelle Brown, a central figure in Sister Wives, has been a fascinating personality for viewers since the show first aired. Her calm demeanor and logical approach to polygamy have made her a fan favorite, though not without their fair share of challenges. As the family dynamic has shifted dramatically over the years, especially with the dissolution of her relationship with Kody Brown, Janelle's journey has evolved in many ways, spiritually, emotionally, and personally. While Sister Wives has chronicled the complexities of plural marriage, Janelle's narrative has also focused on her individual growth. She has shown resilience in navigating the emotional ups and downs of a polygamous lifestyle, particularly when her marriage to Kody faltered. However, the question that has lingered in recent seasons is whether Janelle, now more independent than ever, is still committed to the spiritual tenets of her faith, which includes the concept of spiritual release. For viewers who have followed Sister Wives from the beginning, the notion of spiritual release has always been a significant part of the show's portrayal of the Brown family's religious beliefs. Spiritual release is a process in which a wife is spiritually released from her marriage to a husband in a religious context, typically by a priesthood holder within their faith tradition. This practice allows a wife to leave her marriage while still maintaining a sense of respect and dignity within her community. While it is not an everyday event, it is something that has been alluded to in the past, especially during moments of tension between Kody and his wives. But what about Janelle? With her growing independence and shifting priorities, does she still believe in or seek spiritual release as spiritual foundation? Janelle has long been portrayed as the pragmatic, grounded wife in the Brown family, often taking a step back from the more emotionally charged moments between Kody and the other wives. She has always been fiercely independent and was one of the first wives to push back against the idea of polygamy as the be-all and end-all of family life. While her relationship with Kody has certainly had its challenges, it's evident that Janelle is still deeply connected to her spiritual foundation, something that has guided her throughout her journey in the plural marriage. However, spirituality for Janelle has always seemed to be a more personal pursuit than a communal one. Unlike some of the other wives who wear their religious devotion on their sleeves, Janelle has never seemed fully immersed in the more dogmatic aspects of her faith. She has always approached her religion with an open mind, often talking about how she values spiritual growth and personal understanding over strict adherence to tradition. This stance has sometimes made her appear less orthodox compared to the other wives, particularly Robyn, who has been much more vocal about her spiritual beliefs and commitment to polygamy. For Janelle, it appears that spiritual release, or the idea of separating her marital bond from her spiritual connection, may be something she considers not just as a method of dissolving a relationship, but also as a process of personal transformation. It's clear that while her emotional attachment to Kody has weakened in recent years, her connection to her faith and her personal sense of spirituality has not. This speaks to the internal spiritual release she's been undergoing over time, one where she is releasing herself from the constraints of polygamy without necessarily severing her spiritual ties. The question of spiritual release. With Janelle's growing independence and her physical separation from Kody, fans have started to speculate about whether she will formally seek spiritual release. This question is particularly poignant given the tense and distant relationship that has developed between Kody and many of his wives, including Janelle. For years, the family dynamic seemed to rely heavily on maintaining the unity of the marriage, but Janelle's actions suggest that she is moving away from this ideal. In earlier seasons of Sister Wives, the issue of spiritual release was raised when Meri Brown was dealing with the emotional fallout of her troubled relationship with Kody. Meri was notably the first to encounter the complexities of the spiritual release process, given her emotional struggles and eventual separation from Kody. However, for Janelle, the situation seems to be a bit different. While her relationship with Kody has clearly hit a rough patch, Janelle has never seemed as emotionally broken by their marriage as some of the other wives have. Her calm, measured approach to family drama has made it clear that she is able to detach and find peace, even when faced with emotional difficulty. Fans have observed that Janelle's independence, both emotionally and physically, may signal that she is moving toward a form of spiritual release on her own terms. She has distanced herself from the family unit in ways that indicate she is no longer reliant on Kody or the strict structures of their religion to define her spirituality. Rather, Janelle seems to be carving out her own path to spiritual freedom, and it may be a journey that ultimately includes some form of release from her spiritual ties to Kody, if not a formal one. Is spiritual release still a goal for Janelle? While Janelle hasn't spoken explicitly about seeking spiritual release, her growing desire for autonomy suggests that she is prioritizing her own happiness and well-being above her spiritual obligations to Kody and the plural family. This shift has prompted fans to question if Janelle, who has always been open-minded about her faith, will choose to seek a more formal spiritual release, or if she will simply continue on her path of personal growth, disconnected from the need for a religious ceremony to validate her decision. There's also the question of how Janelle's children, particularly her younger ones, might feel about her potential decision. While the older children have grown accustomed to the fluid family dynamics, the younger kids have been more involved in the family's day-to-day operations. The question of spiritual release could have a lasting impact on them, particularly if it changes how they view their own relationship to their faith. However, Janelle's past actions have shown that she is not easily swayed by outside pressure, be it from Kody, her co-wives, or the larger community. If she feels that spiritual release is necessary for her to fully embrace her seek it without hesitation. Yet Janelle's spiritual journey might be less about formal release and more about an internal transformation. A release from the confines of a marital structure that no longer serves her, while maintaining her connection to her faith on her own terms. Janelle's personal growth beyond polygamy. At the heart of Janelle's story is her desire for personal freedom and growth. Throughout Sister Wives, she has been portrayed as a mother who values her children's independence, and as a woman who has spent much of her life accommodating the needs of others, whether it was Kody or her fellow wives. But now, in the wake of her decision to separate from Kody and live on her own, Janelle is entering a phase of self-discovery. Spiritual release, if it comes, may simply be a natural extension of this personal growth, as Janelle moves beyond the traditional polygamous lifestyle and carves out a new identity for herself. Her journey is one of evolution, and her commitment to spiritual growth is still an important part of it. Whether or not this means a formal release from Kody, it's clear that Janelle is actively redefining her sense of self and her place in the world, spiritually and personally. As she continues to explore new paths and embrace her independence, fans will undoubtedly continue to watch her navigate this delicate balance between spiritual fulfillment and personal liberation. In the end, Janelle Brown may not need a formal release to find peace with her faith. Her journey toward spiritual release may simply be an ongoing process of evolving into the woman she is meant to be, one who defines her spiritual path on her own terms, no matter what the future holds.